Welcome to Sally's Hotline, where we share tips and advice from the podcast Unstoppable Stories That Move. Today's tip comes from Polly Letofsky, who is an unstoppable adventurer, traveler, and champion of a cause. Polly is the first woman to walk around the world, and it took her 5 years. And she did it with a purpose to raise awareness for breast cancer. But her dream was almost stopped before she started because it took a lot of planning, and she had a supposedly incurable case of plantar fasciitis. But she overcame all of that to finish her walk in 5 years and help save women's lives by encouraging early detection for breast cancer. So Polly knows what it's like to do hard things and to be committed and keep going. So let's hear some tips and advice directly from Polly. So Polly, what advice or tips do you have for our listeners out there? Share your words of wisdom.
Okay, here's a tip that I often talk myself into, and it's quite simple. It's so much easier to give 100% than to give 50%. It's so much easier. I want you to think about that, because if you're giving 50%, let's say you're going to the gym, right? I'm going to give every day this year and go to the gym. And if it's 100% commitment, then there's no arguing with yourself every morning. There's no discussion in your head. It's a little cold out today, and I don't know. I have to drive there in the snow. That's 50% commitment, right? It's so much easier to have a 100% commitment, and I'm sure that's what I had on my walk. And to illustrate that point, let me tell you a story about walking across India, okay? So I had gone to great lengths to educate myself on what to expect across India. I mean, I spoke with all the Indian people. I was meeting through Southeast Asia, and I read the guidebooks cover to cover, and I was as ready as you could ever be, but nothing can prepare you for walking across central tribal regions of India as a woman alone on foot. I mean, you're going down, right?
Okay.
You're going down. And again, it was just like 100% commitment every day. It wasn't, oh, geez, how do I get to the airport? I've had to die. I mean, I gave it a good shot. None of that. Every day. And I was struggling.
Yeah.
I had lost, well, you and I met about a couple weeks ago. And so I'm probably 120, 125 pounds now. I was down to 89 pounds.
What?
Yeah. I was down to 89 pounds, and I had mosquito bites all over my face and worn out clothes. I mean, I was just so haggard, and it was so stressful, and it was 118 degrees. I ain't lying.
Wow.
It was horrible, and just dealing with the traffic every day, and how am I getting point A to point B? I was just exhausted. And I reached the center of India, where there was a town of great size, enough to have the services. And I saw myself in a mirror for the first time in a couple months. And what I saw just kind of shocked me. I mean, I was nasty looking. The kind of ugly, you can't even be offended when someone calls you ugly. You're just like, I know. Right? I mean, whoa. I was ugly. And I was really having a tough time and stressed out and worn out. And I still had a month and a half to go. And I needed a boost. I needed an emotional boost. So I had to find a phone and try to call my friend Vicky in Denver to help lift my spirits. And I found a way to make a phone call, which incidentally was called an STD booth. So I found this STD booth, and I called my friend Vicky. And when she picked up the phone and said, hello, and for that moment, I could hear in that voice the safe surroundings, and I could picture her house, and she's cooking, and everything is a normal life, and I burst into tears. Oh, burst. She didn't even know who was on the other end of the phone. I was doing ugly cry, convulsing, and she didn't even know what was going on. She's like, Polly, is that you, Polly? Is that you?
Yeah. And she's probably really scared for you.
Yeah, she didn't know where I was or what I was doing. And I thought, God, the men are changing. And I lost all this weight. I'm ugly and I have this. And I'm just howling and crying. And she tries to calm me back down and step away from the ledge.
Yeah.
And she said, Why don't you come home? Just come on home.
Oh.
It's that the world's on fire right now because the war was going on in Afghanistan nearby and the war in Iraq is building up. She's like, it's a horrible place. Go back and do it another time. I didn't listen to that, right?
Yeah.
She said, we'll help you get you on your feet again. Just go do it another time. And I said, what? No. I said, no, I'm just calling to have a nice cry, bitch, and ball, and I need to lift my spirits. But I can't quit. I mean, these women going through breast cancer and they're throwing up and going through chemo and they don't have the option.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, I had the option. I'm going to take it, but I had the option. They didn't have the option. How could I say I'm walking for these women when I'm uncomfortable and annoyed?
Mm-hmm.
So I got off the phone and thought, I have 6 weeks left. What can I do? I have to make it to 6 weeks.
6 weeks to get
to the end of India.
Yeah.
So I thought, what do I need? What do I need? What do I need? What do I need? I got 6 weeks left. And it hits me, you know what I need? I need a man. If you have a male species standing next to you in India, people will not hassle you and harass you and poke at you and chase you, hiss at you. This is a fantastic idea. I need a man. I need a man. How am I going to rent a man?
You need an escort.
in the central tribal regions of India. So I got to one of these little internet cafes and I contacted every rental car company, because when you rent a car in India, it comes with a driver.
Okay, yep.
And I contacted probably 10, maybe more. I just said what I was doing, and one responded.
Oh.
And they said, yep, Shankar is your man. Shankar, he's in South India. We'll have him up there in 2 days. And he will escort you all the way to Mumbai.
Oh.
And so I had a man. And so, so this is a great example, though, of giving 100% is so much easier than giving 50%, because it was never a thought in my head that I am so annoyed and uncomfortable that I am going to find my way to the nearest airport and fly home. That wasn't even an option. And when you think about it, when something is not an option, you don't waste any time thinking about it. Like, nobody is planning a trip to the moon this weekend. Why not? It's not an option. You're not going to think about it, right?
Yeah.
So when quitting was not even an option, it never entered my head, I swear to God, not one single time. And that was the epitome of the situation where giving 100% is so much easier than giving 50%. Just commit and have the resolute mind. There's something called the power of the made-up mind. It's resolute, the resolute mind. And that's, I guess, where I was. I didn't even think about it like that, but the resolute mind.
The power of the resolute mind. Yeah. I love that. I love that. And, you know, that's kind of where I'm at with this podcast. You know, I feel like it's just starting. Really appreciate you being on. I'm going to keep going. It's getting better all the time.
It is. I think you should be very proud of yourself.
Thanks.
I've listened to a number of the episodes. You're doing a great job. Congratulations.
Oh,
You have
thank
the
you.
resolute mind.
And thanks for sharing your words of wisdom with us. And if you want to learn more from Polly and hear her full story on this podcast, so you can listen to her episode of the podcast, Unstoppable Stories That Move. Polly, what's your website where people can go to?
mywordpublishing.com. If you want to talk about help producing your book, and if you want to hear about my walk, you can go into Amazon, put my name there, and my book is 3MPH, The Adventures of One Woman's Walk Around the World. And by the way, I advise authors to not name their book 3MPH with a number and an abbreviation. Not a smart idea, but I learned my lessons. 3MPH, The Adventures of One Woman's Walk Around the World.
Okay, that's another tangible tip. No number and abbreviation.
That's right.
So now I got a question for you listeners out there. Have you ever had a situation where giving 100% was easier than just 50%? Don't do it halfway. Do it all the way. Tell us about the power of your resolute mind. I would really love to hear your answers. So please leave a comment so others can learn from you, and share the podcast with your friends or with anybody who needs a boost. And thank you. Thank you for listening to this little tip. And thanks to Polly for providing this little tip.
Thank you so much for having me. It was super fun.
Okay. And this is a podcast with a purpose to raise $1 million for medical research, to fund cures for cancer and other diseases. And we can't get there without help from listeners like you. You can donate online at unstoppablestoriesthatmove.com or mail a check to P.O. Box 12 in Afton, Minnesota, 55001, USA. Together we can save lives. I'm Sally Head Dolquist, host of the podcast Unstoppable Stories That Move.com. Keep moving forward.